Hey, hey. Good afternoon. Hope you're doing fine. Hope you're doing fine. Documents, Grogams, yes, okay. Good. Now we have a cloned repository called Nordic Valley, which contains design documentation and lots of mockups of this new project, which I'm about to start today officially. And as usual, the first thing to be done on stream is have some kind of plan what we want to achieve, or at least try to achieve. So I would like to start crafting player controller and player state machine. And these two things can be done separately. And what I mean by player controller is movement, animation. Well, actually, it doesn't even touch the animation, but the player controller achieves, or it should achieve, movement and activities, whatever the player wants to do. This is one thing which I would like to do right this time. How to organize files and folders so that we have a clean structure inside the project. I have a feeling I have done that wrongly few times, too many times. So now I want to learn how to do that. Plus, conventions. Well, folders are named however they are named, but variables, files. Today is 28th of December 2025. Good. Yeah, I would say we start by this. Well, no, this create a new project, a new Godot project. That's always a special moment in game dev. It kind of makes things official. And then we start to think about how to organize the folders. And then we can go to player animations. And then controller. I have some ready code in there is my private repository, which is called Puppet House, or in Finnish Nukkatalo, and it contains already a controller, kind of very simple isometric controller. Okay, then into Godot. So this is a small step for me. No, other way around. This is a small step for the mankind, but big step for me. Also a small step for me, or whatever. Okay. Then let's put it in a correct folder. Let's go to Godot games. How should it be called? Oh wait, I almost made a mistake. Almost make a mistake. Okay, because this is the parent folder for everything, including the GitHub or .git or the GitHub repository. So we should put the main game also here. Nordic Summer Cabin. That's the design documentation title. We don't need any, I think. Or do we? Well, sure. This is the metadata. I guess it's the git ignore stuff. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, there we go. Hmm. Well, Reddit is usually not the best place to get information. Although I have to say that underneath subreddit Godot, there are good people with good information. Hey, hi, TD. Yeah, it was pity that I missed the peak yesterday. Ah, dang it, yeah, 20 minutes. I had to put kids to bed and take the dog out once more, so I was surprised. Yeah, I was surprised because I think one of the third levels took like half an hour, I guess. And I was assuming that the whole game takes like, or the last few levels take like few hours of grinding. But anyways, well played. Good job. Hello, sentient microwave. That was just because we three died like in the first minute on that level. I see. But how is the last level in Peak? I left in that lava hell level. So that was one level behind the last one, right? You need to climb inside the caldera. Oh my gosh. Straight upwards. How am I doing? I'm very chill. Thanks to holidays. How are you doing, sentient microwave? You could check Agile's what. That's actually a good idea. So we do it right now. We could actually do it right now, I guess. Given that Agile has... Oh. Agile. Where is Agile? There is Agile. Oh yeah, there is wood indeed. Okay. Doing fine. Just working on my own project. Not here to sell things. Okay, that's great. That's good. What is your project about, if I'm allowed to ask, Sentient Microwave? Is it also game dev stuff? Game dev stuff? Yeah, we played yesterday round of Peak, and I had to leave 20 minutes before the other guys reached the peak. It's a little bit bitter. Now I'm just checking out like how it went. So this is inside the caldera, inside, or is this already inside this? Okay, yeah. I'll skip a little bit. 36. I have to bring that part up because if I don't, normally get nuked into oblivion. Really? Well, interesting. Well, if I'm honest with you, Sentient Microwave, if you say your microwave order has arrived, I don't know. It is a creative way to say hello, but it's all right. Game dev stuff. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I'm also doing mainly game dev things on stream.
We can go there, and from there we can go there. Yeah. I don't know.
Okay, there's another clip.
Peaked. I'm so happy. I'm so happy now. I can die in peace. I can uninstall this game.
I can die in peace, sure, AG.
That's too far.
Honestly, I would have died like 100 times here. You guys are experienced climbers.
Ow. Stop burning me. I'm just a kid. Burning rock.
Oh, just, like a few meters. So this was the last level already. Hmm.
You know, if I die right now, I will respawn back down there. Because my checkpoint is down there. Oh man, this is so fresh. This is the first time I'm here. Thank you. Thank you guys.
Oh, there we go. Peak. Okay. Yeah, I'm about to start a brand new game project. I actually started it. I started it already. Look at this. There's nothing in it. Absolutely nothing. Oh, there you are. But that wasn't the first peak for you, TD, no?
Ready? Let's all light that. You still have the checkpoint flag. No! Oh.
The fourth. Alright, alright.
Hello, the helicopter's here.
Oh, GG, GG. But the AG's first time. Hmm.
Where is he? Oh,
No, but it was a strong team, no?
you need to.
Except for me. Maybe it was bit that because I just left and then you guys got, up with the speed.
I forgot to have a cooking hat. Hey, let's go, nice. GG, Hollow, GG's. That was very fun.
No, no. No, no, no. That's okay. All right. Cool, cool. Cool stuff. Hollow was just really good. Yeah, he was. He was. You could immediately tell that he has played Peak many times before. Okay. So the first thing on the to-do list is after creating a new project is I want to pay some attention to how to name folders and files. I kind of have already an idea. I just wanted to make sure, and I want to check this naming convention thing too. Not to get a salad of random stuff, randomness. I kind of want to start with clean project structure. If you have any questions about what I'm working on, I'll try to answer the best of my abilities. Yeah, please do tell what you are working on. I'm always happy to hear about fellow devs. Or if you have some screenshots to show, YouTube clips, I'm always happy to look at and hear about them. So yeah, feel free to share. So talking about the folder structure in Godot projects, I guess, or I think this is true, or this works. A large project work best with data locality. So instead of let me show you a bad example. This is my last project, rhythm game, and I made the mistake by starting this project kind of with the mentality of that this is just a prototype. This is just a simple prototype, and I started with I'm like I make something quick here, something quick there. I hack together something there and something there. And it led to this kind of horrible mess. I have just one folder called scenes. Everything, all the scenes are there. So it's like big list. There's some random PNGs there. There are some random scripts. So it's kind of hard to find if I want to find some specific scene or piece of code. And instead, let's see, I should have made like a folder called player, managers, enemies, things like that. I'm trying to make a turn-based RPG. All I did was literally spawn a wheel of random genres, and that's what I landed on. Oh, okay. So you are also taking the first steps towards the project. I understand. Mm-hmm. Well, that's the random spun a wheel of random genres. Was that random genre generation by chance made with a website tool? Because I visited last week or two weeks ago website which generates, I think it was game genre generation or some or also was it even game name generator, something like that. I cannot remember, but it was funny. Wheel of Names, I believe it was. Okay, then it's probably not the one I checked. Okay, but that's funny. So it's kind of your fate to do turn-based RPG. Mm-hmm. Godot say the most common approach is to group assets as close to the scenes as possible. When a project grows, it makes it more maintainable. Exactly. So we could take one step closer to that by saying we can make new folders here. We could just say we have one folder which is called player. Then we could say we have one folder which is called NPC or NPCs or NPC. Well, NPCs, non-playable characters. Although I'm not even planning to have that many NPCs in the game. What's for sure is in there is tile maps. Yeah. All right. Then let's, as a second point, let's check out naming conventions. Style guide. I'm gonna be super pedantic this time. Glad we have Godot engines documentation. Encourage write clean, readable code. I mean, I didn't have in the past not really problems of writing random style code. I just had randomly, like, very rarely I was like, yeah, okay, this is not according to the convention. But then very quickly my brain goes, but so what? No. So what? But yeah. Complete class example. I guess this is called snake case, is it? Because of, or is it? And this is Pascal case, if I'm not completely wrong. So signal names are snake. Variables are snake. And pretty much everything is snake case. Except for class name. I was thinking about the thing I could do in the game, and my friend told me I was evil for thinking about it. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Trailing comma. Hmm. I don't really understand what's the benefit of this thing. Okay, easier refactoring and better diffs in version control, as the last line doesn't need to be modified when adding new elements. Ah, I see. I see. Okay, sentient microwave. I just read your last chat. You have a young white kitsune. A lot of information. I'm trying to decipher what is the evil part. The sacrifice probably. Sounds dramatic. Well, the basic style guide. The basic style guiding is now this, okay? And try to follow this. Everything else is optional. Class names. Pascal case. Variable names. Snake case. Snake case. Yeah, exactly. letting player decide if the character they like live or die. Yeah, I'm usually when I'm doing game dev on stream, I'm so focused on something that I'm having sometimes hard times to like follow some chat discussion, or if there's like larger chat coming in, then I need some time to decode that. So excuse me for that thing. Okay, that's sorted out. Easy enough. So all the files which are relevant, let's say for player state machine, character controller, animations, sprites, everything, they go inside this folder. Then the next step which I need to think about is how to use the object-orientedness of Godot in the right way in this project. That's one way, one easy mistake you can do in the beginning of the project is to, well, simple mistake would be for me to make a player scene. Just start with the player and call it like it's in a player class and start from there. But I guess we should, before we start to populate or do anything with the player, we should little bit look at how this game is meant to be. In my mind, this is very simple. Kind of simple game, cozy game. This is working title, Nordic summer cabin. So we are talking about life simulator. Life sim. Finnish adventure. Well, adventure is exaggeration. There's not a lot of adventures. Yeah, but more like what I want is the player to experience a genuine Finnish summer cabin feeling. Like disconnected from the digital world, being in the nature, listening to nature voices, sounds, collecting things, doing all kind of things Finns do in a summer cottage. Yeah, like mixture of Animal Crossing sims. Yeah, I think the thing is, the current scope is kind of smallish. So I decided this is not gonna be a big game like Stardew Valley or things, or Stardew Valley clones. So the reason why I'm explaining these things to myself or going through the design documentation, I'm trying to figure out like, or trying to decide, are there any other, or are there actually NPCs in the game? Because if so, then I would start to fix first a class called maybe like a character. And from the character, we could then derive player and NPCs. And I think it's a good idea, even though at one day I would say, no, there are no NPCs in the game. Regardless of that, it's a good idea. So I would call character as a base class. And then from the character, we can say that we derive player, class, and optionally NPC class. And from the NPC class, we can derive then, I don't know, cottage neighbor. I don't know what might be, cat or dog or whatever character, neighbors. Yeah, that's one of the only things which I'm thinking of including in the game when we say we have a live sim. And to give you guys an idea how the game looks like, I have early mockup somewhere, Nordic Valley. No, wait, mockups. There we go. So the game hopefully one day looks like this. And hi AG. Congratulations AG for reaching the peak, by the way, once more. We just watched the video of demand from yesterday, and I learned that it was your first peak, so congrats. That looks amazing. Thank you. Yeah, this is kind of history. Well, historic. This is more. This stream is more rare than the other streams because I just made a new game project. Well, it's obvious from the stream title. Yeah, it's more rare, but this time what I wanted to do, I wanted to go a little bit more with the plan into this project. Instead of my usual style that I just jump in and I'm all random or I treat the project like it's some kind of prototype. Instead of hacking stuff together, I would like to keep things clean. I just followed the leads. I see. Okay. Yeah, but the team was strong. The peak team was strong this time. I think not because of me, but because of Hollow, TD, you. Absolutely great players. Neither me. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay. So we can reach the conclusion that TD and Hollow carried us. No, not all the time. I think not all the time. Is this gonna be like Stardew? A little bit, little bit. I actually started to idea this project to be as Nordic Stardew Valley, but it's just overwhelming how much work goes into that kind of game. So I reduced the scope, and instead, if it will be just a life simulation with also reduced scope. And at this very point, I'm thinking about what kind of classes there should be. And I was just thinking, like, will there be non-playable characters? Here's the player character, or the mock-up of the player character. Well, sure. When we say there are animals, then this is a non-playable character. It already requires because I think I want to. Maybe. Okay, let's say maybe. Yeah, it's gonna be maybe, at least at this point. Good luck. Thank you. Always here to playtest. That's very nice. That's very nice of you, AG. Except for character, to use this object-oriented programming paradigm called inheritance. Oh my god, I feel like some kind of Professor Bubble. when I'm talking about object-oriented programming paradigms. Come. Collectibles. Collectible. Because there might be many kinds of collectibles. There might be flowers, there might be potatoes, there might be, I don't know, golden coins, worms, lots of things. I'm just hoping I can finally complete a game this coming year. Okay, so it's a New Year's resolution for 2026. Complete the game. Well, I wish you good luck. hold on to that premise. Hold on to that. Yeah, my dream, my long-lasting dream already has been and is still to have this big release moment. Yeah. Time will tell if this game will be one of, if this is now bringing that satisfaction one day. We'll see. Not a resolution. Okay. Yeah, okay, let's call it just thing on the to-do list or thing on the bucket list or something like that. Same, yeah. We are all bitten by the game dev bug. We have all the same disease. Right. Um mm, Actually, I feel like collectible is not the right base class. Item, maybe? Because from the item we could then derive collectibles, because in a way collectible vegetable is also an something you could like plant, and you're not collecting it, but you put the seed in and then it becomes collectible. I'm already getting knots in my brain. But the question is, do we need something more than the character-based class? I mean, it's not a huge mistake if I forget some in between class, or if I'm not seeing the base class, or I don't identify the base class correctly. It's not huge work to refactor that. But anyways, it makes more sense to devote some more time into the design, like what goes in the player scene, than jumping right into the Godot and start to smash the nodes and things together. So instead of starting with animations control a state machine, I think I want to think about organization of player. So let's player contains, well, first of all, player is a kinematic body, I think. I think it makes sense to say that player is kinematic body, just because of the collision functionalities provided by kinematic body. So there will be some kind of a collision shape. In fact, we could learn from the previous project. We are about to open Professor Bubbles after all these years to check out if there's some good stuff we could recycle. Professor Bubbles is old. Well, old and old. It's my first project with a little bit larger scope. And the part from Professor Bubbles I'm interested in is this world map. Because we have isometric character. And next to that, there is also one more. I think I want to go with 4.2. All the Godots are here. I think it's not yet imported. No, there's so many things. Okay, let me see. I think I should have a project in GitHub. Clone. Yes, Nukkatalo. Okay. Then let's import. Nukkatalo is Finnish and means puppet house. Games. Oh, 4.4 project. Okay, no. Let's not open it with 4.2. This project is also isometric style game or skeleton game. Skeleton for a game. So there are already code and stuff we could look at and maybe copy paste even from this project to this new project. In Professor Bubbles we have keyboard controls. In this Nukkatalo project we have mouse controls. And this is all. This is just this mock-up room and this controller. And let's see now. Okay, this is just code for handling the animation. I would almost like to have this animation handling in own script. Or kind of like animation manager. It's not the manager script. It's the animation handler. And it should have functions like I'm a little unsure what I want to say. Well, similar functions and machinery like from this player character. Or maybe velocity vector. So I could imagine having a player as a kinematic body, then maybe animation handler, and underneath the animation handler we have all these body parts as sprites. And the body parts should be also in this parent-child structure, like feet are parent node, and then the body is child of the feet, and so forth. So when I say that it's time to give the player an possibility to carry a lantern or carry some kind of tool or carry a vegetable, then I can just add some kind of indicator to the hand sprite to be the child of the hand and sprite, and the animation player takes care of all these visibility problems as well. And then we have the controller. Takes care of the input handling and player movement. collision handling is pretty much done by kinematic body. Also, one thing which came to my mind just now is it may very well happen that the player is standing behind a cabin, behind a tree. I would like to have this effect that the player silhouette is being shown in that situation. Right, then we have a controller and a state machine. Yeah, that sounds about right. And I think now we can start populating. We can start populating. We can start populate this. The player see. Just beforehand, I want to look at the isometric player of Professor Bubbles. It's way more simple what we will be doing in the new project, because this is really just an indicator. Where is the player going in the world map? Oh, this is such a kind of nostalgic feeling opening this project. We are talking about Godot 3.4. Yikes. I opened this project late 2023. Anyways. You see here we also have things which I listed in this text file. We have state machine. We have the updation of direction sprite. Conversions from normal 2D velocity to isometric velocity. And this is the part which would go to animation handler, for instance. And I think I want to use the same naming convention for all the animations as I've used in Professor Bubbles. In Professor Bubbles, I have I've made animations for there are two animations really for the player idle and run, and because we are in isometric setting, everything needs to be in 8 directions. And I have used this north, northeast, east, southeast, south, southwest, west, northwest coding. So if I have, say, for the player is idling and facing north, then I'm choosing animation called idle N. And I think instead of this matching, well, we could actually copy paste this. I mean, sure, it would still work. It would still work. So we are gonna take that width. Recycle. Professor Bubbles. Professor Bubbles. Sprite animation naming convention. It would still work. Famous last words. Yes. 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 We have all been there. What I will do after this stream, I will download the video of demand and I will store it in YouTube. I think I even want to make own thumbnail so that the stream can be somehow distinguished in the video of demand bank. And then after many years, we can come back to the first stream and laugh about all these funny ideas. Like, ho. I was so naive. Oh yes, of course. Of course, Haru, you were so Professor Bubbles. Right. No, but I think we have still good chance to recycle things. Have something working. I don't want to copy paste entirely these pieces of code, but there are some good things. And some not that good things. One thing which I recognized which worked kind of good for Professor Bubbles collision detection was that to give the player circular collision shape. So that, well, we can play the game and I can show you why it's cool. Oh. So if we collide with the wall and we try to go up, the player... Okay, well that's That's something I would not like to have. I don't know why this happens. Probably because of how I try to manage the animations. I can remember back in the day someone in the chat thought that these corners are dancing corners. Oh look, he actually gets stuck there. It's funny that it doesn't happen every corner, but that's that. But anyway, yeah, this circular collision shape is kind of... It works well. Oops. And then there is a design decision to be made, and that is, do I want to include keyboard controller, or I mean gamepad keyboard, or mouse, like here. Wait, Catalog. Yeah, like here. Or both, maybe. What I know is in, well, Animal Crossing, for instance, has its Switch game, Nintendo Switch game, so it uses controller. Stardew Valley uses also only controller keyboard. I just wonder. First we get some AI things. Well, I'm not really sure. No. I'm trying to move the character with my PS3 controller, but it doesn't seem to work. No, come on. No. That's strange. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. In Godot 4, you can make navigation tile map on navigation tiles, and you have a navigation server. And you can get the path. You know, like when the character is standing here and you want it to go here, you just you have this one function, map get map, map get path, and current position and the goal position. And then you can just make the player follow that path. It's pretty easy. So I think it would be very, very possible to have the both controls, keyboard controls, controller controls, and the mouse control. The difference is we would need to define these navigation tiles for everything. And then we would need colliders. We would need to tell the Godot like where is stuff. And that would of course make things a little bit more complicated, because if the player, let's imagine that the player wants to decorate the cabin, or want to decorate, we want to decorate the exteriors of the cabin, then we would need to update this navigation tile map every time. Again, this is not impossible to do. We would just need to define like, okay, this, if we have some, whatever, this is a bush, then it takes 2x2 place in the navigation tile map. But I think I will start using input handling keyboard. Okay, I think now we are pretty close to the moment of writing the first line of code and making the first scene to the project, which is the player. Exciting. It's not kinematic body. Wait, what? Why I'm not allowed to use physics body 2D? Oh, character. Yeah. No. Well, okay, we can. That's actually didn't want to use the template. Um. Let's see. I was talking about. Okay, let's not use Godot 3 naming. Okay. Their body. So let's see. If we say the character base class inherits from character body, I guess it's fine. I guess every character they are moving, they should have collision shapes. Even if I say though they should not have collision shapes, we can just add some bogus collision shape and just disable them. So that's fine. One thing I came to think about is should we create animation handler to be separate thing? I think it would be a good idea. Maybe. It would be nice to have this animation handler to be modular, separated from the player. Because we would need to animate not only the player, but animals and everything else. Mm. Let me just think. It would work if you say this the player and the NPCs and everything which is a character. If he would follow the same and exactly the same naming convention for idling, movement, and everything. Yeah, I think it should work. Yeah, I could imagine that we would have simple function like I don't know, trigger animation, start animation, like trigger animation, example function. Um, Eat grass. Maybe not for the player, but for a cow. Then what would happen is that this function figures out if there is a animation which is called eat grass, and if so, then the next step is to animate. Or trigger the correct animations. Yeah, this animation handler will get way more complicated than what I have ever done before. The reason for that is the fact that I want to separate body parts. I think it makes sense to talk these things through. I think it makes a lot of sense to think about before doing. Think before do. I hope that way I can avoid debugging refactoring. So yeah, let's open up the separated walk cycle. So we have actually the eight-way walk cycle already. Well, it's almost done. Ignore the fact that the lightning is completely false on this side because I just copy pasted these three animations and flipped them here over this side. And of course the movement of the feet is also not accurate, because as you can see here, the left foot is moving and here it's right. But anyways, the thought what I want to go through here is this separation of body parts. So let's imagine the animation handler gets called from the state machine. Like simple idling. which we don't have yet, but at some point we do. For all of these body parts, there is an animation player, and there is an animation called idle or idling. All right. And now we come to one important, very important point. Okay. The state machine doesn't have any information about some external factors, like the player is carrying a lantern or player is carrying a flower. So what the animation handlers should have information to and that is somehow it should come from the player class. The animation players should be able to override base animations based on information from player class, like that. I'm not yet sure how this information should be injected into that animation handler. But this is for sure what I would like to do. So we would have the idling animation for everything first. Like the state machine goes to idle state, the animation handler is called to handle the idling animation. And but then because the player has something in their hands, maybe carrying something, then this should happen automatically. This would be, of course, much easier to implement if I would tie this whole animation handler to the player. So it would be tempting to make an animation handler for the player. But then again, I think it would make sense to make a kind of a base animation handler script and extend that, like override stuff for the player and things. Like say the base animation handler class is simply a script which takes care of all the body part animations. it's already getting quite complex. Well, let's see. Yeah, so we could do it maybe like this, say could have animation handler which extends Node 2D, that's fine. And it should go to I don't know, tools folder, helpers, handlers, animation handler is it's too generic. Let's just call it handlers. Let's call this character animation handler. It's gonna go there. We're gonna attach a script that it goes there as well. It's Node 2D. And the class name is character animation handler. All right. So my idea for this handler is that it would have, let's put it like, to be the child of the player. This would have a bunch of sprites and animation players as children. Like sprite 2D, sprite 2D, like legs. Body. Okay. And the character animation handler has simply a function which is maybe called trigger animation. Like first thing to figure out, verify that the animation exists in this for all. Oh well, search nodes, or search sprites, or search animation players containing the animation. That's the first thing. So it would just like take all children. If there are animation players, then it just checks, is this animation there implemented in the animation player. If it doesn't find anything, then it's just sending error message. And then just place the animation. So imagine we have all these well, this would be called like walk. And what I need to do is I need to separate all these 8 directions and use this naming convention. So what then happens? What then happens here? It finds the animations. Like there is idle animation. What's the problem? Oh, collision shape missing. So that's, I guess this would be working for every single character. And then we could assign we can override this character animation handler for the player, which you would call player animation handler, which extends this. So we have this base functionality for legs, body, everything. And then we could say, yes, that seems fine. We could say we make a new script. What? To player character animation handler. Default node. Yeah. And it extends character animation handler. And here we could say we could get information from the player. Could not find type of player in the current scope. Oh, character. I forgot to class name player. Yes, all right. So right. So now we could go this far and say we override this. animations. We need to call... Oh? What? Trigger animation expected at least 1 but received 0. What do you mean? Oh yeah, we need to call animation... animation name. And then here we can then go and trigger or well do kind of the same thing. Or do we actually need it? Need this. Wait a second. No, we don't need to override this. I think this should be fine. It should be fine like the way I made this in character animation. Yeah, it should be fine. No, we don't need to override anything. Oh, we do. Wait. Okay, let's see. Spatial. Characters. Okay, so I imagine there is a animation called idle coming up. It's being sent to the original character animation handler. But then, based on the special features, check out special features and trigger special animations. Yeah, that should work. We of course need this overridden because this is the special code then for the player character animation handler. And I feel like this this could be... I have no idea how to implement that, but okay, that's fine. We don't need to implement everything today. But I think I'm happy to say that this should work like like it's planned. I won't do this this big chunk of work separating all these first all the different directions and then exporting all these sprites. I mean all these layers. I will do that some day, some night after the stream. I think I will make very short break. I will get something to drink. I want to encourage you guys to do same thing. Take care of yourself. And then start think about what to do with the controller and state machine. So just a second, just a minute. Okay. Here again. I got myself a lovely dose of all I need green tea, organic spanking, organic sparkling tea. Let's open it. Welcome back. Thank you. No spanking. I wanted to say it's a sparkling tea. Hi Lily at Sunset. Welcome in. Welcome in. Yeah, please have yourself something to drink. I think it's especially important in this, well, dry winter days. At least its humidity is not that high here in Austria, where I am. Oh no, it's a caffeine. It's a green tea drink with caffeine. Oh no. And it's already 4:15. It says traditionally brewed green tea with aronia berry, ingwer. Refreshing. Yeah, wakey wakey, rise and shine. No sleep for you, good sir. Well, let's go then. 12 hours stream. No, I think I will be fine. Oops, but I just remembered for lunch I had half a liter Coca-Cola, so oh shit. Doesn't green tea always have a bit of caffeine? It does, yeah. It does. It does. I think that's why it says on the can that it says in German koffeinhaltiges Erfrischungsgetränk, which means it's a refreshing drink with caffeine. So I think then the amount is not that high, I hope, I believe, but they have to write it on the can. Make it 24. No. You're gonna be awake for 2 days. I'm a tiny bit worried because I quitted drinking coffee, it was my day-to-day source for caffeine. I quitted like 2 months ago. Actually in hopes to sleep better. That's one thing I have noticed growing older, that it's more and more difficult to sleep well for me. I'm not sure why. So I was thinking, let's cut out caffeine. And yeah, it has been slightly better, I must say. It should be fine. Green tea is even recommended for sleeping. I will report then in the next stream or whenever I get a chance. No, but I think it should be fine. I think my head should not be that sensitive to these amounts of caffeine. I will sing you a lullaby. Oh, that would be lovely. Oh, it cannot be that bad. Well, yeah, I don't know, AG, how about 24-hour stream of singing lullabies as a karaoke? Are you in? Huh? All right. Gonna get banned? No. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. No. I would imagine that would be kind of nice concept. You know, stream title. Come here if you have insomnia. We make it first. All right. Okay, now enough jokes. Controller. The player controller should be tied to the player. And here, there is one thing which needs some thought. Oops. I do need off for dinner. Good luck with your game dev. Thanks, AG. Have good foods. Bon appetit. Thanks for keeping the spirits high. It's always more fun. The fun goes up exponentially whenever AG enters the chat. That's for sure. So, the point I wanted to make is, depending on what kind of controller we want to implement, if it's and I'm starting to think we need both controllers. We need this navigation tile map controller as well as this keyboard based controller. Why is that? Is because imagine we have NPCs and the player. The NPCs need most probably their own controller, some kind of very simple artificial intelligence, which is not really artificial intelligence, it is just rules which govern the movement of these NPCs. And I think it would be the easiest way to implement those would be with those navigation maps and tiles. So I think I want to make the decision right here, right now, to say controller input handling is keyboard and mouse. Which means that for the tile maps, it's gonna be just intelligence. Yes, pure intelligence. Okay, thanks for the lurk, AG. So, talking about input handling and tile maps, We need some kind of tile map manager or handler. And the reason of the purpose of that handler is handle navigation to the tile maps, update navigation whenever an object with collision shape is entered to the world. So that is actually one more thing. This is actually not the best way to organize things. In single text files. I know that some people use programs like Obsidian. Maybe there are some others too, to put thoughts down and save them in organized manner. But I think I will simply convert these thoughts, which I have put down here in the text file, to my Trello board. Let's make a note that we need a tile map handler. So input handling, player movement, controller, what else? Well, how these things are connected is the controller well, the state machine should somehow listen to controller and see like idle state to the run state. And that is actually something I want to remind me of or refresh my memories on. It's been whole lots of years, well, whole lots of years. I'm exaggerating. 2 years since I touched this code base, which has a nice state machine. And I found that the organization of this code, this particular code, was kind of nice. It was nice to work with. So this is the base player character for Professor Bubbles. And here is the state machine. I do want to implement something close to this. This time I would like to implement it myself. This particular state machine is something I more or less copy-pasted from one YouTube tutorial. And it is a little bit too complicated to my taste. It has some fancy functions to exit the state push to some stack of states. I don't need this at all, I think. It has I think it has just too much. I think it could be more lightweight. The way this particular player controller is made is it's directly inside the state machine, and I feel like this could be done maybe slightly better. Or the question is, how can this state machine be disconnected from the inputs? I suppose one way to do that would be to allow some signals to be variables for the states. I don't know, would it make sense? Or would it be just okay to implement everything like in this manner, like it's here? I'm not sure. I would like to see a state machine or alternative implementation of a state machine. Does separating input and states give you an advantage, or is it just because it feels better? I'm not really sure. What is for sure is I'm not the software developer, or my day job is not software developer, so there's a lot of guessing. This old thinking, which I'm trying to do, and this thinking aloud is, I would like to avoid problems later on. I don't think that it would be a whole big problem if I would move on with this state machine and inputs in this way. Simply because of the fact that there is not too many states in this game. I mean, this sort of setting. Let's see, what we could have is we could have things like move, idling, maybe sitting down, lying in a hammock, sleeping. You know, if you wait long enough, the player falls asleep. Very simple things, I guess. And the controls are also really simple. I would like to have them very simple. Like we have, in the very simplest setting, we would have just like one click. And the player starts to move. So in the separated setting, we should just wait. No, I want to go back to there. Let me try to. Let me try to imagine how this would be. Well, I mean, this state machine could be, of course, just kind of like informative thing, just for information. If you would separate everything more or less, Like we would have state machine and the player controller, and the controller takes care of the movement and stuff and input. Then the state machine would be simply I'm getting knots in my brain. Hui, hui, hui. If you want to support multiple input methods, it makes sense to separate that, because then you can call the same functions in your state machine. Yeah, that's actually a really good point. Keyboard control input. Yeah, that's right. Then I could say I just wonder if you have like some kind of way. I'm not sure how this could be implemented, but if we would have some kind of way to give external, let's say, exit conditions for the state machine, let's say like idle to run. Or should they be... Oh, I feel I'm getting a little bit overwhelmed here. But the good news is I don't need to implement the state machine today. But I feel like it is a good idea to give some days time. I mean, me giving time for myself to think about how these things interconnect. What would be the right thing to do, given that we have these conditions? I think it would be completely alright to have the animations done like they are done in this state machine. We have like enter function, and then animation player says play idle. And in here in this game, this new game, it would be like the character animation or player character animation handler will get that. Or implements this, which is here implemented simply by the single animation player. Think things through, maybe try some ideas. A system like that doesn't have to be perfect on the first attempt. I know, right? I know. I have to say, I have flashbacks to this project. This a platformer game, and when I started this back in 2021, I didn't have state machine because I didn't know what the state machine was, and that resulted in very messy code. I was in lots of trouble, and of course, well, this code is also not that nicely organized. It's whole lots of stuff there, but that's very typical of me. I'm worrying whole lots of a lot. I'm worrying a lot. Worrying. But I guess if we have the important systems there, like the controller, animation handler, state machine, then we should be on the safe side. It shouldn't be too much refactoring involved if I say I make some kind of design mistake for the state machine. But okay, when we are talking about state machines, I think I would like to think a little bit towards them. Maybe Google some reference state machines. If you guys in the chat, if you have some good resources to Godot state machines, feel free to paste anything. But I would like to understand this better, or maybe even like craft my own idea of the state machine. Hi, Bear Like Lion. Welcome in. How's Godoing? It's going on nicely. We are not doing that much in Godot today because I just started a new project officially. I have a whole lot of mock-ups from the previous 2 months, and today I decided to make the big step and make this project official, which is under the working title Nordic Summer Cabin. That's the idea. That's the first page of the documentation. And yeah, my goals for today was just to think what kind of systems are required for the game, what kind of file organization should I follow, what sort of object-oriented programming things I should implement, and so forth and so forth. Because in my previous projects, which I treated like as if they were like prototypes, like small prototypes, they ended up in a mess. So I would like to avoid that by thinking a little bit more. I open sourced my Godot state machine tutorial. If you want to check it out, I can link it. Oh, that's nice. Yes, I would like to. I would love to. I'll look at the tutorial. Boomer shooter. Wait a second, that sounds somehow familiar. Yeah, it sounds familiar because I guess I saw a game called Boomer Shooter in one Discord chat. But it was another game. Okay. Yeah, we can check that out. Do you have experiments? Yeah. But before that, I would like to kind of like go through in my head what would be a sensible way to implement a state machine given my previous copy-paste implementation of a state machine. So yeah, pretty simple. This state machine is simply a pile of nodes. We have one parent node, which is the kind of the orchestrator, player FSM. It has its own script. It has its own class. And then functions which take care of changing states. I feel like this is just a feeling, but I feel like for this simple cozy game, there is no need to stack states. Like that we would have this sort of how would I say history, like we would go back and pop a state, so it would know, okay, the last state was that. Not really sure. I cannot right now think about any such occasion in a game where I would say, okay, there is one state taking, like, I don't know, walking, and then all of a sudden there's like intermediate state where we would just go off, and then we go back to walking. I feel like state stacking defeats the purpose of a state machine. States are finite. It's only ever in one state. Yeah, I've kind of got the same feeling when I was fiddling with this state machine. I think I ended up just using change state. There is entering exit between states, but only one current state. When I enter a state, I pass in the previous state to modify a state on start. But one node script per state is also my approach. I see. Yes, yeah. Yeah, so I think these two guys I would not take with. And then here we do have process, and this is something I didn't quite understand from this implementation, is why do we need to explicitly call process and physics process from this? Because if these are wait, they are not the same process as, okay, I see, wait. Oh, that's why, yeah. Let's see if we have idle, then there is no underscore. I see, that's why. Okay, now I understand. This is of course to avoid multiple process and physics process to run in parallel, which would mess up things. Sure. Yeah, I see. Okay. Good. Yes. I would maybe use something else to name this as a process, because it's too close to the underscore process. So all of these basic functions of a node are triggered in the FSM state. It's this orchestration script. I did update physics update. Oh, okay, yeah, that sounds good. That was also when I was migrating from Unity. Well, I was also thinking, like, would it be, if we would say we don't take this approach, would it be somehow bad idea to spawn the states? Let's imagine this this FSM handler, or well, this script would have all these states, and the states would be stored as their own scenes. And so when there's a change state coming up, then the state machine script would say, okay, then we clean up that, we just get rid of the old state and we just spawn the new state. I think the downside is that then we don't have any, well, it's more difficult to make things persistent. If we would like to have some persistent in state, whatever that might be, I don't know. Then if we just despawn that state, then everything's in it, all the internal states are gone. But I don't know if it matters, because I feel like anyway, when we are entering a state, we are kind of resetting, or we want to reset somehow the state. So, certainly a way to handle it, but it's really up to you. I prefer to see all possibilities in the editor. Persistence would also have to be in the player FSM. Yeah, then it would become problematic then if I would like to have some kind of persistent variable in the state. I don't know, counting something. But then again, those persistent variables could be tied to the player. Because we are talking about player or the character. They could be tied there. So then if I say I disconnect, I just trigger kind of with states, I just trigger things and I'm not storing anything. Then I guess that's kind of strategy could work. Because I don't know, I think I had problem with this implementation. I somehow, in somewhere, I had problem that I can't remember anymore how it was, but I had the problem that there was something was executing in parallel. Or in wrong order, like in exit state, or some functions from two different states were executing somehow in wrong order. It might have been my mistake. But there was something was wrong. And I think it was just because I somehow misused. Technically, it would be instantiating and adding another scene, but these nodes are also so small, probably no performance. Yeah, no, they are just single nodes. I think despawning them would not be even noticeable. Did you say this is a new project? No, this is my very, very old project, like from 2021, 2022. And it just so happens that the state machine implementation, what I used previously, was here. So I wanted to have a look on the implementation. What worked, what didn't work. So the new project is of course here in 4.5. But anyhow, let's go and have a look on your state machine implementation. Bear like lion. Four point four. Okay, I think it should be fine. 'That's actually a good idea, of course. I forgot about this coloring folders. I think this is something Godot 4 point something introduced. That's really cool. Looking through this old code. Okay, then close your eyes, bear like lion. Let's see. No, it should be fine, or it should be fine. Okay, let's play the game first. Let's have some fun. Oh shit. Whoa. Oh no. Oh, I'm out of ammo. Shit. Give me an ammo pocket. No, there's nothing. Ah, I died. Nice. Oh, did I get ammo? No. Oh, reload. Ah, yes. Okay, I forgot about that. Oh, okay, 15 kills. Not bad, or? Okay. Cool. Cool. Okay. Let's see then. There we have state machine and state. Let's see. I would like to check real quick how the player scene is organized. Okay, there's similarities seen here. Here we have player in 3D setting. Yes. Yeah, you know, not too far away. The color is different, no? This is blue, this is red. Yeah, so this is some 3D functionality, and then we have player state machine. You have current state, and the states are in a dictionary. Yeah, it makes kind of sense. So you have probably the name of the state as a key, and then you have the actual reference to the state, I would guess. And let's see. From the ready point, we get all the children. That's cool. Checking that it's actually a state, not that the developer has put some mistakenly something else than a state. Yes, okay, yeah, that's cool. States, and then we populate the dictionary. Yeah, okay. And then we have a signal. Oh, that's a new thing. So this forces to wait until the player ready is there. Okay, that's actually kind of cool thing. With this, you know, previously I was always sometimes I have been in trouble with the execution order of the scene tree, and I would need to go to check out, like, okay, what is actually now the order of these ready functions, init functions, and so forth. But with this, we can of course manipulate this execution, of course. No. Good to know. All right, and so here it's the kind of the similar thing. Process calls then current state update. Physics process does the same for physics update. And on the signal on child transition, and this is okay. I see. So this is handling then the transition. Okay, the signal transition gets new state as a parameter, and that parameter is then fetched from the states dictionary. And it's a new state, and we check out that's existing. Yeah, should be. And if it's not the same state, then we go the new state. Yeah, cool. Yeah, it looks kind of similar. Actually, this kind of implementation is probably something I would take with or make use in the new project. Okay, and you have also made the input handling inside the state machine. I followed the tutorial trying to implement it myself, but glad to have done it. It's absolutely recommended to follow or do at least one state machine yourself. And I still haven't done it, so I will go and I will write every single piece of code for the new project myself. I simply want to tattoo it in my brain, like, okay, the state machine should be done like this. It's so essential. I'm kind of astonished that Godot doesn't have this sort of state machine as fixed functionality. I would love to have built-in state machine code which is good usable. Like, I don't know, maybe this is unpopular opinion, but it feels to me that state machines, they just belong. They just belong. Yeah, there are some add-ons. Yeah. But I don't think it's something the engine should do. Yeah, maybe not. But I think I'm just thinking from the usability point of view, like giving game devs, especially the new game devs, easy entry. Yeah, but that's another story, right? Now we are focusing on the new project, on this project. Yeah, I like also this signaling instead of calling with functions. Limbo AI is a popular one. Interesting. Let me try to digest this transition once more. Where does this come from? It comes from player move state, probably, or state, from state. Ah, yes. Okay, now I understand. So this signal comes from the class state, and it's connected here underneath the ready function. So then if you want to change to another state, I like this very much. Instead of having to make it this way. I mean, it's more or less the same thing. The difference is that with this we don't need to connect anything. This is kind of like built-in. In the node, no, not node. No, enter and exit. But this feels cleaner. Yeah, transition handles enter, exit for both states. Yeah, it feels cleaner that way. It feels cleaner. And we were talking about disconnecting player controller and player state machine. I'm not sure if that's strictly necessary. I think it would even work very well if I would say, well, the inputs are in the state machine, and they are kind of triggers for enter and changing the state. And then the animation is, like here, updated in underneath the enter state. And that is then updating the animation handler. I think that's okay. I just wanted to check out what Limbo AI. Limbo now. Behavioral trees and state machines. So it comes with a behavior tree editor, built-in documentation. Okay, let's see. Something's making noise. I actually wanted to disable the stream. Stream notifications. Thanks for the follows, guys. Hello, Fractal. Hello. Welcome in. Welcome in. I believe we played a game yesterday together, or am I mistaken? Yes. Okay. Good. I have a connection there. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you also for playing. I learned shortly after I had to go do some stuff that you actually made it to the top. So congratulations. Well done. Well played. And you must have played Peak already a lot, I suppose. Question dot. So let's see. Limbo AI. Visual debugger. Looks fancy. Let's see how old this is. Oh shit, it's like over 1,000 commits, but it's not the whole truth. But it seems to be kind of mature project. You have issues, stars, stuff. If we get to play again, easy. Yeah. Yeah, let's be honest. Hello, you more or less carried me. Yeah, true. I haven't yet really grasped the how would I say, the essence of Peak, like how you really should play the game. You probably saw that I was just running, like forward. I don't think that's the real way. Like you just run and hope that your teammates are following you. That's not good. I think it's a matter of like communicating with each other. Really like thinking, okay, what do you have in your backpack? How much health do you have? Who goes first? La la la. I think there's a whole lot of strategy involved than you might think. That's my gut feeling. I watched a good chunk of videos when the game first came out. That's clever. And then I have like 50 hours. Isn't a lot. Yeah, listen. I'm a busy man. I have like how much free time I have. I'm like, if I take out all these game dev activities I have, which is my go-to computer hobby stuff, then we are talking about like hours per week. so I don't play that much. So 50 hours for me would be like whole lots. Yeah, hold W and pray. That was pretty much my strategy. I look at the game like a puzzle solving game. It's pretty much a puzzle game. It's like combination of action game and puzzle game. Puzzle action game. And it's the most satisfaction you get when you barely get to the next platform. Like the last energy boost, whatever we might have. So satisfying. Wow. All right. Oh shit. 3 hours already streamed. All right, let me just. I want to check this Limbo AI, and then let's. I think I will raid out to another Godot guy or girl. Not gonna lie, what I love is that the maps are procedurally generated. That's really a really surprising thing. Because when I think about it with my game dev brain, I feel like that's a really difficult thing to do automated. Like what I'm asking is like, do they have like a group of people, group of players who are like actively testing the generated levels? You know, just to avoid that some level is not playable. It would be super interesting to talk with the devs or listen to some kind of talk how we made peak level generation work. Yeah, it feels new, or at least I have never heard about procedurally generated climbing game. There's a small demonstration about this. Oh yeah. This is what I was thinking about when I was thinking about usable state machines. Yeah, exactly like this. Like this is a state sort break, play animation. Wait. And that's like a cool debug timer as well. I think I might want to check this out. Like play around it with a little bit. State machines. Or check out Limbo AI. Probably use boomer shooter style state machine. I do know that it was 2 different dev groups or devs booked Airbnb for a month and made big. No shit. That's crazy. Oh shit, that sounds like that's a full-fledged indie game dev lifestyle. Let's grab an Airbnb, let's grab some pizza, Pepsi, let's make a game, let's go. That's cool, sounds very cool. Yeah, Godot. I'm a Godot. Godot it is. Yeah, this seems nice. Okay, I fear like if I stream much longer than that, my wife will get ballistic. Or I get the feeling that I have had too much free time for myself, so I should go and swap back to dad mode. At some point the timer starts in my head, like, okay, listen up. You have already depleted your free time reserves, and from this point on, it's just pure pain you will be experiencing when you go on like this. It's a natural instinct, believe me. Okay. I think we have done enough. I think this was already quite productive stream. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing in the project really, but we have a plan. We have a good plan. Yeah, well, this is quit the project list. I want to have final look at. Yeah, just bare bone skeleton stuff. Yeah, animations, player, blah. Yeah. All right, let's go and have a look. No. I want to go to Twitch. See who's online. Who's doing game development. Do you have some Godot people? There's one Godot 2-day Sunday. Thanks for the stream. No props. I usually stream on Sundays. Like, this is my usual streaming time. If you would like to come and say hello or talk about something. Oh yeah, Eldrian is there with Super Secret Project. We could go say hi to Eldrian. They're very chill. Oh, but there's a game jam. Game jams are always nice. Oh, that in German. So, okay. Melon jam. Interesting. Making my own VTuber software. It also sounds interesting. Oh, wow.
Here instead of saying project reader.project data, I'm going to project reader.get data. Yeah.
But they're in Godot, alright.
So that's just a little more.
That is a funky model, I have to say, but alright. Cricket is there. Oh, rhythm game. I love rhythm games.
Let me know if you have other suggestions. I might start on I recently did leaves for the pizza, so maybe I'll do like the house plants. Oh, maybe he could have like.
Oh, that's a start.
Oops.
I always look for Godot and syntax.
Mail piling up.
Yeah, I used to do that too, but now I'm more kind of like with the feeling. I would really like to check this out, talk a little bit. Yeah, let's go to EM Audio. Well, let's see what they're doing. Okay, where's my streaming things post here? Array channel, EM Audio. Yeah, so thank you very much, guys, for hanging out. Thanks for Bear Like Lion for linking your reference project. That was really helpful. Thanks AG, thanks Lily at Sunset, thanks Sentient Microwave, thanks TD, thanks guys. It was good times. I will continue this project for sure in the future, so yeah, maybe we will see each other. I would love to, but it's of course always your decision. So have a nice rest of the weekend, rest of the Sunday if you have Christmas holidays, and have a nice rest of the holidays, and let's go.